Hello everybody, this is Diane and I have a lot of digital kits in my shop from vintage items that I've picked up at flea markets. These are all items that I own and I just scan them in. I don't do any photo shopping. I don't have any of that stuff or the know-how. So a lot of times when I purchase vintage things, you guys ask me to scan them in. So I've been working really hard at that, and when I did those ledger journals recently, a little while ago, I scanned in a lot of my vintage ephemera so that I could use the real thing in those journals. So I'm ready to show you what I have in there, and I know there's a lot, but I hope that you will find something that you like and be able to use it in your craft projects. First of all, I have this set of Valentines. This is only a 2-page set. So these two were a pair that went together apparently, and then these two went together. These opened up and were really cute on the inside too, so I scanned the inside part. And then I just had this circle one and this postcard one. So this is the vintage Valentine set. Next, I have 5 pages of French flower seed labels. These are beautiful and bright. I guess I zoomed in a little too much. They're so pretty. All types of flowers are on these seed labels. And there are 5 pages. This is antique ephemera from the 1800s. These are the pieces, most of these pieces were found in that old cigar box that was built up and compartmentalized and had the secret bottom to it. So these pieces were all folded up very tiny, and so you can still see the fold lines in them. And they're tattered because they're from the 1800s. This is clearly dated 1883. So if you remember the name Biles, that was the first batch of old ephemera that I found that had one person's name. So most of these are from J.A. Biles, John Biles, and this one isn't. So there are a few other pieces stuck in. This blue isn't either, but I just like that blue color, and so I use that as a filler for some of these ephemera pieces. This one is Jacob Biles. I guess it's Jacob, not John. So I'll just try to quickly go. So this one says Martin Biles. Different receipts, and some of them were handwritten. Very, very pretty. I love the look of that old paper too. I love it on this blue. Some handwritten ones. So that is Antique Ephemera 1800s. Tickets and tags. This is one of my favorite ones. And these are all tickets and tags that I found at flea markets. So these are railroad ones, and these were connected and perforated. But they were connected when I bought them because they were unused. This is Guernsey Brothers and Company Keene Crackers, wholesale dealers in cigars and confectionery, Keene, New Hampshire. Part of a Mohawk Airlines ticket, Hartford to Springfield. This is a used sales ticket, I think, written on. And these are bus tickets. These actually were, I got from eBay. But I did get this at a flea market. It's Alfred University parking violation ticket that wasn't used. Some more bus tickets, and this is from a box of old cards. So I just thought that was fun to put along with the transportation tickets. Baltimore and Ohio Railroad Company shoe store tickets, shipping labels. This is a label that said it was the Blind Tie Salesman, Necktie Tyler, and some price tickets and some milk tickets. I think I bought those from eBay also, or Etsy. And some more price tickets and bus tickets and milk tickets. Then I have some vintage receipts. This is vintage receipts number 1. A lot of them are from Biles and Trail. I think most of them are from Trail. I got 2 batches of Trail ephemera, Trail being the last name. So I love these with the red letters or red numbers, and you will see in the second set that there's another one, but it is different. It says the same date, not the same year, but everything else is different on it. The information is different, and this number here is different. But anyway, this one has these 2 blue receipts and then 3 receipts from Trail. This is another of the Biles receipts, and this one, and here's a blank one. So this would be great for journaling. Of course, you can journal on the backs of the ones that are written on. Just some blank receipts with the perforated part still attached. Of course, they're not perforated here because you're going to print them yourself. 1888 is this one. Here's a pink receipt and a tan color receipt, and they're both aged. They both have the tan coloring around the edges. And this one wasn't used. I love the green color, but it wasn't used, but somebody wrote on the back of it with blue ink and it shows through, and I just think that looks really cool, so I put that on there. Another 1888 receipt from Biles. And then vintage receipts 2. Again, we have Biles and Trail. The Trail ephemera is from the 1920s for Nathan Trail, and then his son was 1940, so I don't think there's any of that in here, but quite a bit of Nathan Trail. 1890, 1865, there's Trail with 1927, 1925, and then Biles again, 1892. This one has a dog on it. Look at that beautiful writing. That's Biles from 18, I can't really read that, but it's 18 something. And this is 1885. So there's plenty of ephemera that you can print and use in your journals. I've also found quite a few Victorian calling cards over the last couple of years at the flea markets and antique malls. So I have 2 sets of Victorian calling cards. This one is set number 2, and it has 3 pages. And I think set number 1 has 4 pages. Oops. I love these with the hands and the doves and the roses. That was a very common calling card design, but these are all different. I did have duplicate designs of some, but I didn't scan duplicates in. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So there's 4 in set number 1. Now I have the ledger pages from the big ledger books. I did the best I could with them, and I have 2 sets of ledger pages. This is set number 1, and this is the German one, I believe, and it's 1917. Look at that beautiful writing, and there's smudges. It's just beautifully old. This is from the same ledger, just a different page. This is from the church log book where they have the parishioner's name, and this says Bert Beals and wife, and then the amount that they were giving. This is a science laboratory notebook, experiment notebook. So it just has a place that says observations and computations and conclusion. And this is from a different, I think this is German also. And it says credit here, but on the other pages, it's in German. This is set number 2 of the vintage ledger paper. So there's debit, but it's D-E-B-E-T, not I-T, the way we would spell it. And this is the other page for the experiment book. A guest register. Just a plain ledger page. Landscape. The guest register and this page are landscape. And then this one is German, and I guess that means credit. We have vintage store receipts. So there's quite a variety of store receipts as I have found them. This is X-Line's Pure Service, and it comes in pink and white. Meredith Bottling Works in pink. Meredith Bottling Works in white, but with the aging around it. J.M. Bratton. This is a Nathan Trail receipt from 1927. This is for furniture and things like that. This is a hardware store. So I have the whole pads of these and that one. This was just one receipt and it was written on. And I just needed to fill in some space. So there's the True Orange Soda Squeeze carbonated beverage, but I put it here because it's Meredith Bottling Works. So you have 2 of the receipts plus a label. We have coal and lumber, Hoffman Company coal, lumber, and cement. And this is Carl Ayers and Sons, and it's used. It's pretty old. Well, it's 1948, but it's very, very brown. And then this one isn't used. T.M. Towns for coal. So these 3 were used. Earl S. Johnson Wholesale Fruit and Produce. This is another whole pad that I had. Carl Ayers and Sons. So that's groceries, and that's the same name as on here. Milk, cream, and soft drinks. This one says 1948, and that one says 1948. So I don't know why the receipts look different, but they do. So yay for us. We get different ones. This is 1891. Carpets cleaned, feathers renovated, etc. So that's really cool. William E. Dyer, dry goods, groceries, drugs, boots and shoes, hardware, and agricultural implements. So a little bit of everything there. That's 1908. A hardware store. And this is the coal one again, but in pink. Some of them had different colors on the same sheet. So those are all vintage store receipts. I have cigarette cards, and I only scanned in the ones that were old enough. So these are the Players Vintage Ladies, but all of the cigarette cards are in one set. There are 3 pages. 2 pages are the Vintage Ladies and a few flowers. And then the other page is roses. We have some railroad ephemera. I think this is it. I have actually 4 sets of railroad ephemera. So railroad logbook pages is just what it says, pages from logbook. So this was a full page, just yellow page from the Lehigh Valley Railroad Company. These are the covers from 2 of the time books for keeping track of their time worked. 1918 and 1925, you can see they are very worn because they were used. That got printed on thin paper. These are pages from one of those logbooks. So this is a blank page, and this is a table of wages. And this is the same page, but it's written on. And then this is another table of wages from the other book. And this is another page, New York, Ontario, and Western Railway Company. So that was Railroad Logbook. And then I have Railroad Ephemera 1, 2, and 3. So this is 1, because I have so much railroad ephemera. The blue, I love that. Erie Railroad Company. This little receipt part. Oh, actually, this was on here. I couldn't fit it all on. So, cut it, I think, so that you could have another piece of it. And this is a ticket. There's some more blue. Does that go with it? No. And some pink, Switchman's Union of North America. So that was paying dues in 1903, it looks like. I'm not sure if that's right, but that's what it's very faint. Brotherhood of Railroad Trainmen. A receipt for a lodge number. And more receipts in different colors, and they have the train on. They're just beautiful. These were little stubs that were left behind on some railroad ephemera that I had, so I just filled in some space with them. And these are pay stubs, I think, paychecks, 1949 and 1963. And this one is 1934. Order for watch inspection. That's set number 1. Set number 2 has Erie Railroad Company train list and the Erie Lackawanna Railroad Company clearance form B in pink. I had them in white and pink. There's just a blank sheet to write on. Received, date, car number, bill number, price, net amount of bill, and urged. I don't know why it says urged. And this must be the front side of that. I scanned these a while ago. This was on tissue paper, and it's written in the black grease pen, and then somebody wrote in pen here, and you can see through it. I don't think there was writing on the back. Maybe there was, because I'm not sure what that shadowing is. But if you printed that on tracing paper, it would be really cool. Railroad Ephemera Set 3. So this is Delaware, Lackawanna, and Western Railroad Company, Whitney Point, New York. And it's written on. And there's the back of it that's blank. And this is an inspector's form. United States Railroad Administration, Lehigh Valley Railroad. Requisition for month of blank. Delivered to at Sayre, Pennsylvania. That's where I live. The Erie Lackawanna Railroad Company clearance form A in white, and then there's a very old receipt here, 1918, and another certificate of service months and wages, 1950. New York, Ontario, and Western Railway Company refund order. Awarded third prize for safety suggestion, $10, 1929, and 2 more of those little stubs. So wow, that's a lot. I don't even know how many sets I have in my shop now, and I still have some more to do. So I hope you'll go over and check out those digitals and see which ones you could use in your journals and take some home with you. I mean, you get them today. The day you buy them, you get them. You don't have to wait for the U.S. Post Office on these. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your patience. I know it has taken me a long time to get these things in the shop. They've been there for a while. I just haven't shown them to you. So hopefully showing them to you will let them start selling, because they've just been sitting there pretty much. So anyway, I hope that you like them, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.